Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this special figure showcase and review we're going to be looking at the 2015 Deluxe Class Ironhide figure. So what we're going to do in this video, we're going to have a detailed look at him in both of his modes, help you decide how you want to display him. We'll have a look at the accessories that come with him to help you know if yours is complete. We'll have a quick look at how he combines as well, because as you can see he does actually, and I know that's strange for people who have not seen these particular figures before. Yep, Ironhide is part of a combiner, which is this huge guy called Optimus Maximus behind him. And what we can also do is have a look at the packaging, because if you brought your version of this particular figure in America, you had a lovely comic book there, whereas like myself, who brought it in the UK, we had a collector's card instead. So I'll show you all them in detail, and as well of course with some comparisons with him and some other Ironhide figures down the Generations toy line. Right then, before we get started, I'd like to remind anybody who's not subscribed to this channel, if they'd like to hit that subscribe button for me now please, because it really will help me out. Let's start off by having a very quick look at him in robot mode then. And he's quite a basic figure, to be honest. He's got a good head sculpt. It is a deluxe class figure. It was 2015. He's got ball and socket joints at the top of the shoulders, you can see there. And he's just got, I would say, normal bicep or elbow flexion. He's got full waist swivel. He's got knee rock, no ankle bend. You can see there, that's all held together. With the head though, you can turn it all the way around and it'll bob backwards and forwards. That's pretty much on a ball joint as well. And these, I didn't realise how much people, I suppose, in the fandom really didn't like these figures. I only sort of found out myself when I started doing these particular videos. But I suppose it is because they're quite basic. I do think they're quite basic, but I don't know whether it is just my fondness for Generation 1 figures or not. I actually really like them. I haven't really had much chance to play with them. I just used to combine them up like that. The accessories that come with him is this axe. You've got, basically it's a 5mm peg there and on the side. And of course we've got, this is important, especially if you want to combine it, because it can be a foot, and you can also fold out these here, and this will also become a hand as well. I will do a separate transformation video showing you all 4 modes that he has, which is of course robot, alternate, arm or leg mode. I'll show you them all in a second. Right, before we quickly have a look at the alternate mode, what I wanted to show you was the difference of the, I suppose, free gift that you got with the packaging. So this is one I got imported from America, and this is of course got the IDW comic in it. There's no collector's card here. I'll show you the collector's card in a second, but the packaging looks nice. I just want to show you something else funny on the back of the packaging. You've got this brilliant stock image here, or photo, or maybe even a painting, but look, it's missing a wheel. It's actually got a wheel missing. There's one there and there's the other 2 at the top, but it's missing that white wheel there. And here are the other 4 members which combine to form Optimus Maximus. I think it was a great idea, as I say, that they snuck it in. There's confirmation that it is quite a basic deluxe figure, the fact that it's only 10 steps to transforming. So the comic, I'm not going to obviously show you all of the comic straight through it, but for a free gift, it's brilliant. It's a good few pages long. There's a good story to it. And again, as a bonus, coming through the figure, I wish they did this more often. So, where I actually got my UK version, though, we didn't have a comic at all. We had this, which is a collector's card. It's exactly the same cover, to be honest. It's just smaller, so it's exactly the same image, rather. But there's nothing else. There's just the Generations logo on the back. Right, what we're going to do now then, we're going to come back. He's going to be in his alternate mode, and we'll do some comparisons coming up soon as well. So then, here we go in his alternate mode, and again, it does look kind of basic, and it is, of course, a 4x4 double cab pickup truck. And for the Hawkeyes out there, if you imagine this being black with maybe a bit of blue on, it's quite reminiscent to his on-screen in the live action movie figures release of him. But I love the fact that they've obviously kept him with the red, and of course the great homage to G1 with the yellow stripe down the side. I'll show you that in a second. As I say though, basic, look, big plastic wheels, not too much detail going on the windscreens or the bumper, really, to be honest. Not much detail on it at all. I suppose you can barely make out that there's a robot under there, but again, these feet, I don't know what it is with Ironhide figures and things like that, with the Siege, obviously the huge feet at the back. They could have quite simply just made that easy to fold these toes underneath. Okay, this is useful again for when it comes to be combined, like you can see at the bottom, but it shouldn't have been that hard to maybe make a I don't know, a hinge there, shall we say. Right, let's have a quick look at what I was just on about. So here is the G1 version. Totally different vehicle, but you've got the same yellow line pretty much down through the middle of it. Now, the other cool thing, I suppose, this is, if you want to display him in this particular mode, you can take both of his accessories. You've got this tab there, which I pointed out earlier, which will fit on the side. And then if we take either the dual cannon or the foot or the hand or whatever it is, if we look underneath on the fingers, there's a cutout there. And what this will do is this will sit nicely on the top of that. So we're going to see if I can show you this so you can see. We're going to go underneath, click it into place. You even heard it. And then of course, if you want, you can just fold the finger around and it will sit on the top like that. So everything will fit on it when it's in that particular mode. What I want to quickly show you again, sorry, now as well, is that this mold is a slight retool and redeco of this guy. This guy's name is Off-Road. He was wave 2 of Combiner Wars. He replaced Wild Rider with the Decepticons, but you can see you've got the same parts, they're just different colors, and you've pretty much got exactly the same alternate mode as well, still with the 10 steps. Right, here's Ironhide anyway, and what we're going to do, we're going to come back now for the final time and do some more comparisons as well. Right then, back for the final time, just to see how he looks with his weapons in his robot mode, and of course to do a couple of comparisons. So we've got the axe, and again, you can choose how you want to hold this. You can put it resting on his forearm, which of course doesn't look great. It of course looks way better going into his hand like so. Be aware though that it does slide right the way through, so if it's been overly played with, it's quite hard to get it to balance completely how you want it to, but you can see it sits there no bother whatsoever in a pretty much new hand. Now this double blaster that it can be, again, you've got a choice. So you've got that peg there. Let's fold this over as well. Now of course the only problem you're going to get with this is the fact that the weight can make it off balance, but it's pretty much gonna rest right there. You can turn it around. To be honest, there's a few things that you can do with this because you can pretty much transform all of it as well. What I'm going to do very quickly though is just take that out of his hands to do some comparisons with you. So let's get him standing upright. What I'm going to do first and foremost, we might as well put his original G1 self right next to him, and he's way smaller, which you can see. And then we've got his newer version, which is of course, this one I think is the Earthrise version rather than the Siege. So it's only a few years newer, but the difference is absolutely crazy. The technology and the improvements are huge. Yeah, so this is from 2020 and this one's 5 years older, and the differences, well, they're massive, aren't they? I've still got the big feet at the back when he's in the alternate mode, which I mentioned earlier, but this has gone so much further. It's the differences between them all are brilliant. I think there's a bigger jump though between them two than them two, in honesty. But there you go, guys. I just wanted to quickly, as I say, share with you another Ironhide figure, but this time the Combiner Wars version. Let's very briefly have a quick look at Optimus Maximus, because we haven't yet, and he just about fits inside the screen. And this was a brilliant idea of obviously making Optimus Prime a combiner, and he is, as you can see, probably a lot bigger than you'd expect. If that's Siege Ironhide there, you can see he's just about past his kneecap. So the deluxe figures from Combiner Wars, a little bit smaller, and of course he's a lot bigger than Generation 1 and Generation 1 combiners. But there you go, guys. Hope you enjoyed looking at him. Keep your ideas and suggestions coming forward, and of course please take care. Thanks for watching. Like and comment, and don't forget to subscribe.